Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I'm a financial mediator and business valuation expert in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, I have the pleasure and privilege of speaking with Kirk Michie in San Diego, California, and he is the founder of Candor Advisors. For more than 30 years, he has worked with entrepreneurs, closely held business owners, and high net worth families to achieve their strategic planning, liquidity, investment, and legacy objectives. Today, we're going to talk about using valuation metrics to strengthen the seller negotiations in M&A or mergers and acquisitions. And I welcome you, Kirk, to the podcast.
Thanks, Melissa. I'm glad to be with you.
I mean, I think that, for the most part, you're looking at things very differently than a lot of investment bankers out there. And if they do go to your website, they're going to get the 6 secrets of a successful sale. And one of them that I thought was interesting, because of course I said you had to tell me some of them, but I think that this was my favorite one. So if we want to leave with this one, if you could just summarize your point in don't argue with the market. I'm going to use this with all my clients. I'm like, listen, you're arguing with the market. The market is telling you the truth. So what is this point as a takeaway?
The market is a collection of, whether it's, tens or hundreds of thousands of buyers that are going to bid on your company. And if they decide that, 1.5x revenue is, the right multiple, or if they decide that 6 times EBITDA is the right multiple, look, don't argue. You can choose to not sell. You can decide to delay your path towards selling the company until you get to that number, but don't argue with the market. It's a waste of your time, and you're probably paying somebody retainers and other money to get to a transaction. And look, if the market isn't where you need it to be to get your number, so that on a net after tax basis, you can either endow the rest of your life or fund your next adventure. If it's not there, don't argue with it. Step back.
Well, and I think it's interesting because I don't think you should argue with the market multiples. I almost don't even think that you should negotiate from the market multiples. Like those are the decoys, right? Because they're subjective and my multiples can be different. I can pull up, like yesterday, I pulled up market multiples in it was a marketing agency, and the multiples were literally from 1 to 100.
Yep.
And there were transactions that spanned like 20 years. And I was like, well, wow, like pick anywhere between that. What I say is argue and support your cash flow. Because if you make them pivot off of that market multiple, this is an equation. It's cash flow times market multiple, or cash flow divided by cap rate, which is the inverse of the market multiple. And so quite frankly, if they're going to argue on one side of the equation, then I better make sure that they don't come and start to push my cash flow, because cash flow is going to move. If they knock down 50,000 of cash flow, that could mean 5 times that in the deal. Whereas push me down 0.1 of the multiple, and I'm not going to lose as much. So I think that is an ideal.